My every move.
I am violence and anger. Yeah.
I love your Corey Feldman, by the way. I immediately knew it was Corey Feldman.
And it's based on his song, The Comeback King.
Yeah, because I asked him, I was like, why does Corey Feldman have either bird shit or cum on his back?
I've been just my brain will just go to just random little stupid puns every now and then. It just so happened I had this Tron Carpenter thing that popped in my head while I was here, and I thought it was kind of funny, so I drew it. But now when they pop in, I just write them down so that when I come down here, if I'm so tempted to draw it, I have like ones on on deck.
The space.
Yeah, because Jesse loved it. He was like, He's like, I want you to do that every week and just have people guess it. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do that every week, Jesse. I don't even know. I barely even know that it's
He
the
was
first
probably
one.
stoned when he told that. It was like, this is great. Do this all the time.
He sent me a message that was like, he was like, just let me know what movie you guys want to pick out, and don't feel like constrained to newer movies. And you guys are doing great content and all this, and he wished me luck on the show and stuff. This was like last week, because he wasn't going to be able to make it. But I was like, I like this. I like having the excuse to stay up to date on horror movies, because I feel like that's a space that they're not necessarily filling in their show.
I mean, sometimes they do
but they don't go like super deep dives every like
They're more about the
once.
classics.
Yeah, like once a month. I mean, they don't know, like Sodom and Gomorrah shows up here and there.
Yeah,
it's
it's occasional. When they, because I don't think they get to keep up with everything all the time.
Even just the keeping up with horror news is kind of fun.
Well, as long as you enjoy it, I mean, you've got the time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, it must be nice. But
I assume you're getting paid to do that while you're at work.
I don't do anything unless I'm getting paid to do it.
I knew it.
You kidding me? I don't even touch anything that feels like work. And then most of the time, I don't touch anything that feels like work while I'm at work, because I don't like to feel like I'm working.
It makes me feel dirty.
Yeah,
I don't like feeling
this
dirty.
is gross.
I want
people do this for a living.
What's wrong with them?
Oh, yeah.
Why don't they just watch Game Show Network instead?
I don't like the way this feels.
But what if I want to do other
It's
stuff?
uncomfortable.
What do you mean?
I'd be lying if I said I hadn't recorded a podcast or two while working from home.
Dude,
Yeah, you gotta do it.
I'm going to tell you, that is the least of the things going on at people's homes. Trust me. Trust me.
Wait till you're doing it again. Wait till you see the weird news.
Oh boy,
I'm always right
in
weird tune with it.
It's there.
Dude, people are running entire businesses out of their homes while they're working.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I know for sure.
You know,
some
you
people
know
are
them?
doing.
I know
surely
for
do.
sure. I've seen the receipts.
I've seen them. Yeah, I mean, people are doing all kinds of multitasking at home.
Well,
Fuck it. Don't ever feel bad about that.
we got
I
him.
don't-
We got him, and
Don't
we lost
ever.
him. We got him, and we lost
Are
him.
we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, boy.
my God!
Boy, did I incriminate
I
myself.
thought for sure that no one was even going to be listening.
No,
to
nobody's
this.
here.
No, doesn't matter.
All right, let's start. Here we go.
Are we Instagram live too?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not until we start the intro.
Oh, right,
tape.
Are we
Kick it on.
OnlyFans live?
We're OnlyFans
Woo!
live. Yeah, that
Yes!
doesn't have a limit. Instagram has an hour.
Tell me
though,
when
so
I'm whipping out my
that's,
dangle.
that's right.
Give me
We'll
a
let you know.
cantaloupe and 2 squashes.
You boys ready? I'm gonna go skiing.
That's right. Time to start.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen. Yay! And then, wait.
What does that do? Did that blow your mind? That just happened.
This corner weighing in at 180 pounds.
Darkness, everybody!
You've got a dirty, whorish mouth.
Fucking amateur. Am I wrong? No. Am I wrong? Yeah. Okay, then. Hail to the king, baby.
Oh, fuck it, dude. Let's go bold.
You tell anyone about this, I'll fucking kill you. I'm kidding. We'll come back by tonight. Okay?
Everybody, welcome to another episode of the Kickstart with Matt.
And Matt.
And Zach.
Zach is here.
Zach's back.
Not only is Zach back, but Zach can hear. I don't know what happened. Somebody unplugged Zach's headphones because they
a little
weren't
gremlin trying to
plugged
sabotage.
in. They weren't plugged in because we just recorded something else.
You need a gremlin bell.
Actually, I realize now that I wasn't hearing you through the headphones at all. I was just so into the conversation
Oh my
for my
God.
show that I was like just talking.
It was always unplugged.
It was always a
Oh, God.
It absolutely could have been, but you were recording. Your mic was hot. I promise.
That's
this
all.
time.
Yeah,
That's all that matters.
because it's happened twice to me on this
twice.
show.
Oh my
It's
God.
happened twice. Yes, your
You
mic
would
has
just
been hot.
hear the him peripherally off of your mic.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. It's wonderful. I love it. I
Make
love it.
make the listener work a little bit.
Yeah, that's
right.
what you need to do. Yeah, speak up, speak into the microphone. But yeah, I didn't even realize. I think probably what it was, I unplugged the headphones from here because the splitter that we use, it splits the electrical signal. So the less headphones that are plugged in, the louder it is. Whatever.
It looks like a fucking ninja star, by the way. It's like it's
Yeah,
got
it's
like
a little octopus like.
inputs on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
It does a trick. It it gets us where we need to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're all here. So here we are. We're back again. It's been a while. It's been a while, as the song goes.
Oh, we didn't do last week, did we?
No, and I don't think did we do the week before that though. I don't think we did that either.
No,
ya?
maybe not.
Huh?
It's been a while. I think the reason
What
I'm
is it?
thinking we were
Twice.
so recent is because we did the two-headed episode
Oh yeah,
like a couple of weeks ago.
yeah, that's probably what it was.
Which just dropped.
But anyway, no matter how long it's been, we're here now.
yeah, whatever.
Indeed.
We're here
I
now.
don't think I've been on the show for like months.
Zach's been.
I
Zach
think the
has-
last time
yeah.
was like April.
Yeah, it's been a bit.
almost going on almost a year.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah, it's
Yep.
good. It's good that you're back now because
And still, it's more times than Chris has been here in the past.
yeah, that's exactly
I'd
right.
still
You're
say.
already in the lead.
Chris is lost in that other dimension.
He has definitely slipped.
He's in the cracks.
Yeah, he's slipped into the cracks of the Confederacy down there.
The Confederacy.
He's down in Maryland. He's below
Yeah.
below the
That's-
Mason-Dixon line.
He's found an entire civilization that is just Chris's.
Yeah.
where he is the king of Chris's.
Oh, and
but
he-
it's the Confederacy.
And
Oh,
the worst,
no.
the worst part is he's only like 8th best there in
He's
that
the
whole.
eighth best Chris.
He couldn't even make top 3. Yeah.
Oh,
But
God.
you know,
He's like a half-star general in the Confederate
that's
Army.
exactly right. It's like one of those weird screwdrivers that only fits the safety screws they have on the stalls in the train station bathroom. They're weird star-shaped sort of thing. You can only use them in very specific instances, and the rest of the time he's completely useless unless you're trying to shiv someone in prison.
Very useful man.
Yeah, exactly right. And he's just what the doctor ordered, or what the doctor's trying to
What the
suture.
doctor- yeah. He is just what the doctor was called in for.
That's right. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. So let's see what's been going on. We just had our Prince Diamond show
It's fantastic.
at the Double Barrel Roadhouse last weekend.
Had a hoedown and a half.
Oh man, let me
yeah.
tell you what, we square danced straight to hell,
That's right.
and it was great. We
That
had
was fucking great.
I fucking loved
The
it.
stage is so much bigger on the stage
Yeah.
than even it seems from the audience
Oh
perspective.
yeah.
It was huge. I didn't know what to do with all that space. I kept walking around.
I was disgusted that
That's
Corey
exactly
Feldman
what to do.
Yeah.
dissed it. I was disgusted. I was like,
Yeah.
this is a huge stage. Yeah. Oh yeah, he thought the whole thing was. He's like, it was a kind of a smaller show.
Oh, fuck
Yeah.
you, Corey.
That's
Feldman.
exactly what I said.
It
I'm
was-
glad Corey Haim is dead.
That's
Oh
right.
my God.
That's right. It's your fault. How about that?
Yeah.
you did it.
Yeah.
Oh man, it like the sound was pretty good. I'd
Yeah.
say that overall it was like a pretty good sound.
Yeah.
The light show that they like were
Oh,
just
yeah.
was not rehearsed. They
Oh,
didn't know
no.
what our set was like, and
Some
they
of
didn't know
Some of it was like as I was
pre-programmed stuff.
as I was
yeah.
watching. No, it wasn't pre-programmed.
Oh.
Those were absolutely manual changes. There
Oh,
might have
wow.
been
Oh,
some.
wow.
So basically, within a light board, the way that it works, you program the individual DMX addresses, which is basically where
Open up the door.
each light has like 16 channels, and you program the board based upon the number. So you do 16, and then whatever 16 plus 16 is the next. That kind of thing. Go to work your way through, and
That's a big number.
I know it's getting way out of my range. I just sing about it. I don't know how to calculate it.
I got an English degree. I
that's
can't help you.
No clue. So that's how that's all pre-programmed. And then once the lights are programmed, you do what are called scenes, which are essentially it's a preset for all of the lights that are within what's called the universe, which is
Oh,
everything
okay.
that the board programs. So probably what he was doing was switching between those different scenes. And that's why, because
Oh,
some
I
of the light changes were happening not on a sound or a beat. It was kind of like afterwards when something was happening, and that's what tipped me off that somebody was manually. Like it was really wasn't apparent to me until the very end of the set. But it's still nonetheless, I think it turned out.
It's interesting. I mean,
it was good.
Yeah.
We could just in the future, if we're playing there again, we could leave it up to him. But if we wanted to, we technically could program a light show that he just plays.
That is very complicated.
Okay.
Because it all depends upon the software that they're using.
Yeah,
exactly right.
What Matt was saying was you could program
exactly
a light show.
You could do a lot of work.
Just here's some more stuff for you to do while I sit at home.
Unless you're going to give him all the stuff he needs so he can sit at home and do it.
Exactly right.
He's not doing it.
This thing is so hard to hold up once a year so that you can put the screws in to hold the thing on stage. But that was the other nice component, too, is we didn't end up having to use all the stage props thanks to Corey Feldman demanding a projector for the show.
Corey Feldman himself influenced this past show, which is amazing.
Directly or indirectly,
Kind of
through his
both.
rider, he made this projector happen, and it really did. It was, even though we had the whole damn thing put together, it was literally sitting behind the curtain. We were planning on like picking up both sides and like putting it in front of the curtain when it was our turn. The big Baphomet sigil. So that I was going to bring that out and sit that in, but then we realized that the screen was going to come down just like an eighth past the whole thing, and I was like, it's going to cover.
It's going to look weird.
It's going to be strange.
Yeah, it wasn't going to.
So I said, you know what I'm going to do, because I had to. Luckily, I had gone there, and I'm so used to being completely fucked with my accommodations to get ready, get myself dressed and paint my face and everything, that I thought, I'm going to go home because it's only 9 minutes up the road or whatever the hell it is. And so I left everything here at the house, thinking I'll come back and then I'll just go to the show. And when I got there and saw, not only was there the green room, but there was also another like actual dressing room.
Oh, wow.
With a mirror in it.
Shit.
I was like, what the fuck is going on here? There were no outlets, though, which was really weird, but nonetheless, it didn't matter. So I was like, as soon as I realized that was there, I went home and I got all my shit, put it all together in my bag. And I realized I had folded my jacket and sat it next to that. The jacket is black, by the way.
Yeah.
And the futon that I sat it on, also black. And so when I put all the stuff into this silver case, I was like, all right, got it. Here I go. And then not the jacket. And so I got there like, fuck, I forgot that, because I sat down and I pulled out all my shit. I started laying it all on the table. I put my makeup box there and the whole thing. And I started to pull it all out, unfolded my King Diamond picture I used for reference to make sure I get everything placed right. And got my paints out, and I was like, I better put on my turtleneck first, because so I don't, mess up my face paint when I pull it over. Yeah. So I pulled the turtleneck out and I laid that over top to make sure that was there. And I went to go put that on, and I went, all right, I guess, I could just hang up my jacket just so it didn't get wrinkled or anything. And I was like, wait, what the fuck? What the fuck? And I was like rustling through everything, trying to figure out where the hell my jacket went. And then finally I realized, I know where it is. It's still at home. So he's like, do you want us to use the screen or anything for anything? I was like, well, I emailed the logo to the sound guy, which was quite an adventure. We'll put it that way, since we haven't talked about it on the show.
No, we haven't said anything about it on the show.
Yeah, quite an adventure. But so I said, I sent you this one, but I'm thinking we might just put this. He kept calling it the circle. Yeah. So I was like, I might just put the circle underneath of the logo. I have to run back to the house anyway. So I opened up Photoshop real quick and threw it all together, sent it over to him. And it was a good thing too, because I used the old Prince Diamond logo that I sent him originally, which the shadow was cut off. It was the stuff that I used to make our original merch.
Oh yeah.
So the right-hand side of the shadow, it has a hard line on it.
Okay.
Right. And so I realized this at one point when I was making something, because I overlaid it on a color that it showed up. And I realized when he put it on the screen, I was like, this is not right. This looks like shit. It's all pixelated and everything like that. Yeah. And so when I got home, I realized I sent him the wrong one. So it all worked out for the best.
You did it
all done.
You did it so fast.
Zipped it up.
It looked perfect.
Yeah. It was good.
The image.
It worked out well.
It looked great.
Yeah.
It was. By the way, like on the show, I've said it to you both separately, but on the show,
sure,
it was a fucking great concert. As a drunken patron,
hell yeah,
who was there and had a lot of alcohol and
our favorite,
and just banged my head to tons of great music. You guys sounded fucking phenomenal.
Thank you.
Man. Yeah, I was really happy with it. All the way through. Loved the venue. the experience besides that little sound guy debacle, which
Yeah.
I'm sure we can shit on that here.
Oh yeah.
This guy, this sound guy,
This motherfucker.
he's comes first of all, he sends everybody this email. Like Matt was kind of our touchstone for this.
The week
Um,
of the show.
Yeah, and he's very demanding about everything. He's
Yeah.
like, you need to fill out this form specific. He sent it was like 2 pages worth of like information.
4 pages.
4 pages.
It was
I-
4
I
pages.
just saw it. I just saw it in a text
Yeah.
form.
What is he, Corey Feldman?
Yeah, I know exactly.
Yeah, I guess he thought he was. My God,
Yeah. Yeah.
he was the pickiest motherfucker I've ever dealt with to
And
work with.
The part that really bothered me was that in the messages he was like, so you can satisfy your OCD sound guy, LOL, sort of thing. Like,
Uh-huh.
ha ha ha, I have to have everything the way
Sorry,
that
I'm
I
so
want it.
picky.
You can go fuck yourself. That's what I say.
I don't care what his
God.
credentials are. I don't know what his credentials are.
No.
And I'll say this to those and to those listening, he didn't end up running our sound
No.
in the end, which was a
Nope.
fucking godsend. Thank God.
Yep.
It was his like apprentice or his helper or whoever.
He was the
And-
runner.
Sound kid.
The
Yeah,
sound kid.
Yeah.
Sound kid.
Yeah.
He was his younger guy. he was easy to work with.
Yeah.
Cool. No problems. But I came in and we were starting to load our stuff in. Meanwhile, Greg and Tom are like there already,
Mhm.
and they're just like witnessing this kind of like this guy just kind of dictating things, and he's got his arms folded and he's like scolding us like we're
yeah,
kids that are in trouble in
he's
school or
like,
something.
I told you guys that
It's gonna
there
be
would be
festival
one
style,
yeah.
one drum kit,
yeah.
and that's how we're gonna do it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, how about you ask us what we need and then you try to accommodate us?
It's like,
'Cause
hold on a minute. We talked to the owner when we were here doing the promo, and he said that multiple kits wasn't going to be a problem.
the
What
stage
happened?
was humongous. We could have mic'd up all 4 other kits.
Mm-hmm.
And then
You're gonna have them all on there at once.
Oh, yes, side by side. It was
Yeah.
that fucking big. I'm not
Yeah.
no exaggeration.
Because you want to be a lazy ass and not
Yeah.
have to do that.
Exactly.
Or
That's all it
you're,
is.
Exactly
you're not
right.
confident or smart enough to do
We're
it.
not
maybe.
competent enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean,
Mm-mm.
I just was like, I was
Sound guy, friend of the show.
Yes.
Yeah. So we love him. But I just kind of was, said to him like, well, our drummer has a specific setup that he needs for our set. We're in the headlining. He's like,
Mhm.
for the headliner band, yes, we can do that. But everybody else, no.
He just didn't want to do it.
yeah,
yeah, he
exactly
just-
right.
He relented, but I was just like, I had like a bit of a relief. I'm like, Jesus, at least poor Tom, who was like coming in,
Mhm.
swooping in to help us out at the last minute.
Mhm.
I was like, I'm not about to tell him that he's got to share his kit with everybody else,
Exactly
even though
right,
a
yeah.
lot of them are our friends.
Yeah.
Then he'd have to tear it down, set it up.
No,
and
no,
all
no,
this
no.
shit.
The whole idea was the fact that Tom had to do this last minute. right?
Yeah.
He had to jump in for the show. And the fact that you're telling him, okay, not only did you get very limited time to practice on your own kit, but now you're not using your own kit
Yeah.
to play
Mhm.
these
Yeah.
songs that you just learned like a month ago.
He learned all that shit in a month.
Tom's been in the band. He was in Prince Diamond in an incarnation of it a while back.
Yeah, he was with us
So,
for a few years.
Yeah, so there were a couple of familiar tunes there for him, which helped a
We
lot.
tried
But
to
he had
tailor-
to relearn them.
we
Yeah,
tailored our set for him
Yeah.
to like so that he was familiar with most of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it all turned out really great. The sound guy fucked off, thankfully.
God.
And next year, but now we know next year we what to do, what steps to take, and I think everybody will be unified in being like, no, this is how we're going to run it.
Absolutely.
Because we've done this show. Like this is the thing that's so like
Yeah, yeah.
insane to me. We have done this show from garage nothing DIY all the way up
Absolutely.
through the best venue in town.
Yeah.
We've done
Literally
all
the best
ev-
venue in town.
yeah, old Chameleon Club, and then like from shithole to like places that professionals play. We've been through
Exactly.
all of it.
Exactly.
And we've always done it just fine.
Yeah.
We've always done a 15-minute turnaround like that. No
And-
sound checks even.
And what do you know? We did it in fucking 10 minutes this time.
Yes, we
How
did.
about that bullshit?
Yeah. So that whole fucking attitude had no, and Matt was like ready to like lose his
Oh
fucking
my
mind.
God.
And I told him that day, I'm like, okay, I'll just be the mouthpiece here
So
because
I
I
was
don't want
like,
you
I'm
to have to
going
deal with this.
outside then. And I
Yeah.
just walked back and forth and back, and I just paced in front of the loading dock. And Jay got there and he was like, hey man, how's it going? I was like, it's not going good in there, man. He's like, what? Come on, man. What?
Jay's always all positive.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, nah, man, it's okay. You just gotta talk to
I
him.
was like, nope,
I'm like, well, you
not
talk to him,
today.
Jay.
Not today.
Jay's Wrath of Typhon.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought that fucking dude killed himself at one point during the show.
Then he jumped into the
When he leapt into the crowd and no one was there,
he did a Jack Black School of Rock thing where
and he just landed hard on his fucking knees on
He
the
was
hardwood.
he was right in front of us. Like,
yeah, he just, and I was like, oh,
Oh
Me
my
and Zach-
and then
God.
he just crawled past us, and I'm like, he's in pain.
He's
That guy's in
he's
pain.
a maniac with that too. It's amazing.
oh my god.
I remember one of the first times I saw Wrath on stage. Right, he jumped up. There was so in front of the stage at the depot. There was this metal I-beam. Right, he used to, and the I-beam said no mashing. There was moshing, yeah, mashing. No mashing.
mashing.
No
Don't
mashing.
mash.
No mashing genitals.
Keep your goddamn potatoes out of here.
Keep them as far away from me as possible. No
Fried
spud.
only.
This is a no spud zone. And
Call
so,
the Irish people. What the fuck?
discrimination.
What am I supposed to do with these? I brought them for the show.
Thought it'd be nice and
You
share.
got you got to get the Reverend Al O. Sharpton out there.
It's a travesty.
Yeah, but yeah, he was doing pull-ups and he like leapt into the crowd after he did that, and everybody moved out of the way because he was coming foot first.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to catch
Nobody
his
wants to
feet.
get drop kicked.
Exactly right. And
I-
so he did same thing.
To
Yeah.
be fair, I don't think he expected anyone to be like catching him. I think he was full on like, I'm just gonna jump. I'm just gonna dive
He just-
into the
yeah,
on the
he's in
floor.
it was just you
Yeah.
could see he was just like fuck it.
Yeah.
He just goes and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh,
He's ready.
he's on the ground.
Yeah.
Now he's crawling past me.
Man,
Is he okay?
I
Yeah.
mean, whatever opinion you have of their music, their style, and everything, you cannot deny that he puts on a fucking serious
so much
show.
energy.
That
yeah.
guy
so
is
much
Yep.
energy.
he's so energetic. It's wild.
And,
I can't
and
believe
he
it.
was running around in a Grinch costume before
Yeah.
they even went on stage.
Yeah, he was
And
playing
he
with
kept
Frank
coming
Sinatra.
backstage. He's like, "It's so hot in this thing." And then he would put it back. Like, you don't have to do this.
You
You're-
chose this.
You are doing this to yourself. Yeah, and he just kept running around. I loved it because I was back there in this dressing room and I had the door shut while I was painting my face and everything like that because I was trying to get these lines straight. When we did the promo, it was I think we got over there like what do you remember? Because we recorded
You were-
right
you
after.
were
Was it
there
around
at, like,
noon or
noon.
something? Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was early in the day. I do not eat breakfast, but I do have a cup of coffee. And so this was the first time I had ever tried to do the King Diamond makeup earlier in the day.
Mhm.
Oh my God, my fucking hand was like shaking like crazy. I was like, Jesus, I can't get any of these lines straight. So all my lines were like, an inch and a half thick just because I had to like even out the sides back and forth. So-
because you're just like fucking
I'm
fucked up on
I'm like,
coffee.
yeah, I'm like trying to hold my arm from shaking like crazy because I have no food; it's just caffeine. And but yeah, so by the time we were doing the show, I was like, all right, I have to have as much focus as I can just to try and get this on and done, and that way I know I'm ready. I would rather deal with the uncomfortability of not being able to itch my face, and so that's what I did. But the whole time I was in there, I kept hearing him come back into the room and making all kinds of goofy noises and everything, of course. And he kept talking about how hot it was in this costume. And I kept opening the door and being like, yeah, anytime you want to be done, And he thought that was the funniest thing. He said it was like a sitcom. Like I was like the guy lives upstairs and I kept opening the door. And I had various stages of King Diamond makeup. It really was an enjoyable time. But I had a fucking blast playing that place. Once we got that guy out of there.
Yeah, once things were all set up and ready
Oh
to
my
go,
God, what a
we had
fun time.
we had a sound check, which was awesome because we got there so early.
Yeah.
So we actually already pretty much had things all set up, and it was really nice.
Nice.
to go on stage a little familiar already with how it was going to sound up there
Mhm.
because it did sound different than I'm used to. All of the monitors were so far apart
Yeah.
that it was like I was in like a weird like area, like a musical areas where I could sometimes hear some people a little bit better. So it just helped. Like when you're up there, you have to try to focus in on what's most important and make sure you always hear that. So
Mhm.
as long as I can always hear myself, as long as I can hear the drummer, then usually I'm good. And if I
Yeah.
hear the singer too, or I hear at least one of the guitars,
Yeah.
usually that helps keep me
Something
on track because it
lead.
can tell me like, oh yeah, we're here now,
Here's where
or
we're at.
here's
Right,
the
right.
variations happening. So yeah, but otherwise, I'm was familiar with it. It sounded pretty good to me up on stage.
Well, you also have a challenge too because the bass very seldom has its own monitor. It's normally like
No.
stage right, stage
No.
left, and center.
I think my amp
And then
tends to like
drum.
operate as a monitor. when I have it direct in?
Well, I mean, for you it does.
Yeah, that's
but
what I
yeah,
mean.
yeah, it doesn't give you your mix of the rest of the stage. But yeah,
No. But that's okay because as long as I can hear that thumping, like if I get the response, if I play the strings and nothing, I can't hear myself at all.
yeah.
It fucks me up
Oh, yeah, it's
really
very
bad.
No
disorienting.
doubt.
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
because I'm like, okay, what, how hard did I just play that? Did that come through?
Like, am I playing corn right now?
Yeah.
I'm just having well, he's doing something up there. He looks like he's having fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. I'd go there again.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah, I would play
I'm
that place again
assuming
in a
it's
heartbeat.
going to be the next year.
I think it is.
So-
We were kind of chatting about it a little bit, and I think that the plan is to try and see if we can get something dialed in there that will be favorable for us as far as the staff on hand. And and once we do that, I think the venue. I mean, we're already in. The owner's all about it. He
Nice.
loved us. He
The
thought
owner
it
was super
You guys
cool.
had a cool turnout. You had a really good turnout.
Yeah. He was even talking about how Jay was the first one to stage.
His first ever stage dive.
Into nothing.
Into nothingness. Yeah. Into the void.
I had no idea that venue was even there. I lived 10
Yeah.
minutes away
Yeah,
from
yeah,
it,
yeah.
and we walked in and we were all shocked and we're
Mhm.
like, holy shit, this is a legit
That's
venue.
how I felt
Yeah.
too. When we heard about Corey Feldman, I immediately started looking. I was like, where are we going to see him? He's like, Redline. What? Where fucking Redline? Are we going to a guitar
I
shop
assumed it
or
was
something?
like a basement bar. or
Yeah,
something.
I said,
Yeah.
what in the hell? And when I saw the pictures of it, they're all these like wide angled lenses.
Mhm.
So everything's all warped. And I'm like, this place is a fucking hole in the
Yeah,
wall.
yeah,
And they're
yeah.
just
I
trying to
thought it was
stretch it out.
I thought it was like, so it's the only thing I can relate it to as far as like the sprawl of it.
Yeah.
It's like a church.
It is.
Yeah,
Because it's
totally.
got 3 sections. It's got like a whole
It's
left
under a church.
side.
Yeah.
It's under a church, yeah. But it's really huge. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't look like it. The pictures make it look small.
It does. Yeah. It's a phenomenal
Mm.
stage.
It was like a shitty little,
Yeah, and
no,
not
it's great.
Not only that, but just alone the layout was so refreshing. The fact that you can
Oh,
get
yeah.
from the green room to the stage without going onto the stage or through the crowd or into the
Mm.
hallway. Because
Oh.
I've talked about this so many times
Oh,
that the hardest part about doing these Prince Diamond shows is I can't talk to people because we always headline.
Yeah.
I can't talk to people before the show because I have to shout over the music and then my voice is gone by the time I get on stage.
So you got to remain
I
silent as you
I
can.
either have to stay in the dark corner away from everybody else, or I have to be in a space where I can have a normal conversation. And this place afforded me both opportunities.
Nice.
Mhm.
I loved it.
dude, it was great. It was a whole circle. So you could get to the green room from the side stage
Yeah.
that connected to backstage.
Yep.
So you could be anywhere you wanted to. In fact, Matt waited backstage to show up.
Mhm.
But yeah, you could it's like a circle. You can
Oh,
go
man.
anywhere
We-
you liked.
I can promise you, if we play this again for Prince Diamond, this will be I'm going to dump all of the shit that I've always wanted to do into this place, because not only is it close enough that I can like transport anything that I
Mhm.
need.
Yeah, that's another thing.
But the stage is so fucking big, we can incorporate theatrics. We can put
Oh,
on
yeah.
a King Diamond
Because
proper show.
you could do video
Of
ahead of time.
literally everything that I want to do.
we could put like a double layer. we
Oh,
could build
my
like
God.
a 2-layer
Oh,
set.
Don't
Oh,
start.
You're
Don't
giving him
start.
ideas.
Don't start. I already
All out
started
of gas pipe and
Listen,
PVC.
I already started drawing it. I have it in the other room. Yep, it's completely made out of toothpicks.
And I'm gonna say it right now.
Yeah.
I've been asking for over a decade.
Okay.
If you guys don't fucking do
Okay.
15 men and a bottle of rum, I'm gonna throw myself off the top of that place, and you're gonna feel like shit because I died there, and it's gonna ruin Prince Diamond
You
for
won't.
you.
You won't die alone though.
I
because-
will fucking kill myself if you don't play that one goddamn song 5 minutes a time.
You won't die alone though, because Jay will be right next to you on the floor. Yeah.
Well, like there's so many like I get excited doing it, when we play the show. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, man, there's so many songs I want to like
Oh yeah.
dig into or
I know,
try
I know.
or new ones that like there's classics, but and we try to keep them in as much as possible.
Right.
But
Yeah. The stuff that's relatively familiar to people
Yeah.
who are familiar with music. I think for me, the thing, of course, because the theatrics is my main focal point.
Yeah.
I love the idea of telling like a component of the stories since most of them are concept albums
Yeah,
for
yeah.
King Diamond stuff. I like to be able to tell components of the stories, not only because it helps to sort of, not then again, most people, if you don't know the words, you can't fucking understand what I'm saying anyway.
Yeah.
But it's cool because like being able to present that whole sort of chapter of the story to me is appealing.
Yeah.
But also because when I sing the songs, I'm telling the story in my head, and that's what I know what the next part is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if I don't have that, like every time we do Black Horseman, for those who are not aware, that is the end of the Abigail album.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so that's I have to, because the first verse talks about the end of the story or towards the end of the story. And so I have to fast forward in my head to the end of the story. Otherwise I start with the second verse because it's almost like it goes back to the beginning of the story.
Sure.
So it's like being able to tell it sequentially even helps me to be able to deliver the performance better. So,
Mm.
I would really enjoy that, but it'd be really.
There's a lot of room to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Well, then
To make it.
I'm going to plead my case one more time.
Bring it on.
You've got this nice venue.
Yes.
Great lighting. You got a video. You could have like a storm happening.
Oh yeah, there's a little ship, choppy
Like,
seas.
choppy seas. You could have the
True.
lighting doing lightning.
That's right. We could get some people on the side with little spray bottles. We could really.
I'll fucking do it. I'll stand there with the
We
spray
could, yeah,
bottles.
we could have like a fan.
It's better
with,
than
like,
throwing
mist.
myself off the roof.
That's exactly right. We would rather you with the spray bottles, Zach. We need you. We need you here. Yeah, that would really be a
We
good
should
time.
we should like announce that we're gonna do like a proper drinking song,
Yeah.
and then we play Whiskey in a Jar. We bait and switch him. And it'll be
You'll be
like,
like, where?
Get your drinks
you
up.
learned this fucking song, and you didn't learn the one I wanted. You sons of bitches.
If you guys did Whiskey in a Jar, I would come on stage and murder him in front of everyone.
Finally,
Especially
I
if you
get
did the
some rest.
Metallica, like
That's the one I'm talking about. That's James Hetfield one I'm talking about.
Yeah, we would race each other to my death if that happened.
Yeah, I'll just pick you up and take you to the roof with me.
I want to go.
I'll do a fucking sit down power bomb to you.
If
off the
I'm
top.
doing Metallica songs, I want to die as soon as possible. Yeah, no, thank you. But yeah, that I absolutely love the show. I cannot say enough about it. The whole thing. Once we got past that speed bump at the top, was so amazing. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
awesome. The crowd was great. Everybody was really responsive. The venue was great for the crowd, that they weren't overwhelming, because I can't tell you how many times I played the stage at the Chameleon, and if I got near the front of the stage, I couldn't hear, or like the noise from the people singing
Okay.
was distracting.
Really?
Yeah, because at a certain point, once you move, normally the monitors for the singer is in a little bit from the
Yeah.
very front of the stage. And I like to get as close as I can to people at certain points in the songs. And so when I would step beyond those, they would be singing so loud that I couldn't hear myself clear enough.
Interesting.
And we'd sort of float. And the challenge with the King Diamond stuff is because some of it floats into falsetto territory. So there's not a lot of power coming out. So I can't feel the vibration in my skull as much as I can when I'm singing full voice. But it still is such a beautiful experience. And this place was great because it's kind of like pie shaped.
Mm.
The sound doesn't distort as much, what's going on
Doesn't
stage.
get like trapped and
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
funneled at you.
And
That's
and
fascinating.
there's so much. There's a fucking curtain there that you can go behind and come out from. Like all the stuff that's just basic.
A real venue.
It's a real venue,
Yeah.
and it's there. It's amazing. It's amazing. I just can't say enough about it. I really love the show. It was great.
Now that we sucked that place's dick a whole lot on
Oh
it.
yeah.
I hope they're
yeah.
listening.
Ah, yeah, they better
right.
be. They better be. Yeah, I'm a double barrel fan at this point.
Yeah,
And,
double barrel. You don't
that's
want
right.
someone killing themselves off your
Let me
roof, so
tell
you
you
better
what,
tell them.
That's exactly
Play
right.
this song.
You tell them you're only booking them if they have the song in their set list. And then we're gonna
You
have to
have
fill
that
out,
power.
We're gonna have to fill out that chart again. And it doesn't have that song in there.
Sorry, I just really need the song.
We
LOL.
also need you to list out your set list. Yeah, we need to make sure we don't have any
Zach is gonna
liabilities.
commandeer the sound guy's email.
Yes.
And he's gonna have all these weird.
Edit the Google sheet. Yeah.
He's gonna try to like bury the lead by having all these other weird specific like things.
Must have a
demands.
song about a unicorn.
Yes.
Must have a song about pirates.
That's right.
Must-
Pirate songs. The best part was too when I sent the owner guy, because he was the one that put the new logo up on the screen for me. He was going through the email, which I sent the logo, I sent our intro tape, and I sent the spreadsheet back. And so the first thing on the list of attachments was the spreadsheet, and he's like, It's like, what's this? What's this? What's this? He's like, this doesn't matter. Exactly. It doesn't matter. Who cares? Who cares? But yeah, it was. I just really. I can't say enough about the show. It really went great. Greg says he hated the show and he was sweaty.
Greg was wearing a jacket, like a jean jacket through the whole set. And I was like, because I was wearing like this, this like button down shirt earlier when we were sound checking and loading and stuff like that. And then he's like, look, we're all color coordinated where everybody's wearing a different thing. Tyler was wearing like a black jean jacket. Greg had a blue one and I had this like grayish one. And I was like, no, I'm taking this off. I'm wearing like a tank top and a vest.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you're fucking it up. And I was like, it's gonna be hot up there.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of it, he's like, it's hot.
That was the first.
Like,
that was the first thing. That's actually when we shot the promo, everybody got off stage and they were every single person, because I was standing by the side of the stage because I was all in costume and everything like that, and I didn't feel like talking to anybody, so I was just standing there listening to every single. It was like every other person coming down the stairs and be like, God, it's hot under those lights. And so I was like, well, that's the way it goes. I know it's going to be a good one. And so when I saw everybody all jacketed up,
yeah,
I thought, oh,
it
boy.
looked good.
Yeah.
Looked good on film.
Yeah. It's great for the aesthetic, but if you don't have a change of clothes, it's going to be a chilly trip to the car after the set's over.
I was impressed with everybody. Oh, Tyler sent me this thing. It was this guy who made a comment. I don't know where this came from. No one I recognize, but it must have been coming off of maybe the Double Barrel or something that had our videos or our stuff from our show posted. And this one guy was like, it's ballsy to say the least to do King Diamond, but the singers actually seems to be pulling it off. The guitarists are dreaming, thinking that they can do this without being sloppy. And I was like, and Tyler just says, I'm always dreaming playing King Diamond. I was like, fuck this guy. I was like, who's this fucking armchair quarterback motherfucker acting like he knows anything about anything?
Yep.
These guys have been playing this shit for a long time.
Yeah.
Exactly. By the way, I guarantee you they're less disappointing about playing it than your fucking mother is in you for being a piece of absolute filth. Like, fuck you.
And that's saying that you didn't kill her already and you're using her skin to run the rest of the motel.
At least I'd have a little bit of respect for you to do something instead of talking.
Exactly right. Do something with your life.
Mom's a lampshade in the living room.
That's exactly right.
But they do a really great job. I mean, I thought we all sounded like awesome.
Yeah.
Afterwards. So I was impressed. Everybody did a great job.
I mean, just like I was thinking about it while we were on stage. I was looking up and thinking we could put a camera in the balcony.
Yeah,
we could capture all these angles of the shows.
We totally could.
Like we could get people to. We could actually record like a proper.
This dude filmed the whole goddamn show. It's on YouTube. We'll have to put a link up. I rewatched the whole show.
Yeah, I watched a couple times.
And what you were talking about with people singing in the front and messing up.
Yeah.
Somebody was right next to him, or it might have been him, just singing the words and the wrong words.
Yes.
And they were like, T, and you were like not on that at all. It's so dumb. Tom was commenting on that
great.
too.
I love it. I love the dissonance that happens there. Yeah.
There was a whole like, and it sounded good even from the shitty YouTube video.
Greg says, Zach, I hope I didn't spit on you when I came to solo in your face.
I would appreciate it.
That's right.
Fine.
It was a welcomed mist if it did happen. There you go. It's refreshing. Yeah, it was all in all, it was a wonderful gig. I'm
big shout out to Scotty for
hooking
it all up,
making it happen,
and
fucking standing down these dicks getting in the way.
Yeah, he was.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he was a big part of like why the sound guy, I guess, like stood down.
Yeah,
because he went toe to toe with him and everything. But Scotty's our friend, little hookup to that he works there. And
he's good people. I was telling him I've known him since I was like 18.
Oh, you know Scotty from?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Chad and I were talking about wrestling at Hot Topic when Scotty was working there, and he just came up to us.
He
like, you guys like wrestling?
He loves wrestling.
And
yeah.
I saw his first wrestling match when he was Scotty Sabbath.
Yeah.
Got his ass whooped in his first match.
Oh shit.
That's how it goes. But
that's right.
I've known him for a long time.
Man,
that's cool.
I walked in, I was like, oh shit, man, how's it going? I didn't know you guys knew him.
I don't really know him too much. I guess I talked to him a lot more this time than I ever have before. But he's always been to our shows. I think he's pretty close with Jay.
Yeah, he's always been around with him.
Well,
yeah. And I know him through Jay too. That's where we sort of all met.
Part of the scene.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was great though, because like when we went to see Corey Feldman, we walked up and I was like, "That's Scotty's dad." He was outside telling people what was going on. I was like, "What?"
His name? He introduced himself to me as Smoke.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm smoke.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you are.
Yes, you are.
You're my favorite Mortal Kombat character.
And then, but it's great because we walk in the door and who's checking IDs? Sumo. Sumo's in there.
Sumo,
checking.
yeah.
So I was like, fucking Sumo, what's going on, man? And then look over and there's Scotty standing over there. I'm like, what is going on? I know everybody here.
It's like a who's who of York music.
Yeah, like Corey Feldman, you're in trouble. I know all the security.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy. I am coming into the green room.
I'm going
right
exactly
now.
where I want to be.
Right now. I'm going right where I want to be.
You can't stop me.
Man.
I don't care about your XXL. Let me kill Mister. He's not going to be able to save you this time.
Yeah, his Lemmy bodyguard. I don't know. That's like his personal bodyguard.
Yeah.
Because he had like a bodyguard at the show, and then he had the same guy was his bodyguard at the Hunt Valley Monster Mania.
Oh, really?
Same exact dude.
He
'cause
was
we were like,
every single
we were like,
time
how
he
do we
went to
know
the
this
bathroom,
guy?
he'd stand outside like this, stand outside the door.
Of course.
Because it was a public, it's like one that the fans could go into, and he's standing there. But Corey Feldman would be in there for a long time, every single time,
He's incontinent.
and he'd always come back out with sunglasses on. So we don't know what he was doing in there, but but all we know is he's divorcing his wife because she fell off the wagon.
that's right.
Purely innocent.
It's
They were
her fault.
just long shits.
That's right.
That's all it was.
That's all it was. He just gets so amped from all of his fans.
That's right.
It's like drinking a pot of coffee for him.
That's right.
Damn the torpedoes.
So many opinions.
So many things.
That's so
But,
many opinions.
but I'll tell you what, we got some opinions about is some weird news.
That's right.
Damn
Well,
right.
We'll share them with
And
you.
we're going to share them with
right
you
now.
right now.
Here they
My
come.
body is ready.
Here they come.
Look out. All right. We got 3. We had 5.
We dominated this first entire half with just our show thing.
Well, of course we did. Would you have something
the
else to talk
It was
about?
the most interesting thing we've done this year.
Yeah, I was going to say. Normally, it's what else? I don't know what the fuck
Yeah,
have we been doing.
And then we just sit here and try to come up with something that's relatively interesting.
We finally have something to talk about. We've
Yeah,
got. I
who-
think.
Just randomly, like, wouldn't it be funny if O.J. Simpson had a dick on his head?
Yeah. God, what a.
How do you think that trial would have gone? Do you think they would have respected him?
And then 15 minutes later,
That's me. Yeah, just give me a premise. Just
the-
pull one from a hat.
if the
Oh,
condom
dude.
does not fit, you must have quit.
That's all it was. That's all it was. It worked for him.
There was no semen at the crime, at the scene of the crime.
Yep, not my
A
fault.
man with a dick this big on his head, and it's big, mind you. So let's
Let's
let
also,
the record reflect
let-
it's
yes.
a big,
That's a
awfully big dick.
let the record show that this thing is enormous.
This man is the only living snork, ladies and
He
gentlemen.
loved his wife so much that if he went alive or dead, if he saw her, he would immediately ejaculate.
That's right.
So there is no way he'd be in the
No
same room as her
exceptions.
body.
Never.
That's right.
Never.
Oh my God! You ever seen that video where I guess it was like Barbara Walters or somebody was interviewing him, and they were like, I don't know if it was her, but it's some lady interviewed him, and they were like, I guess it was his idea of a joke, and they filmed it like
Oh,
where he
no.
knocked on the door, and he's going,
yeah. I saw that. I saw it.
no.
Yep. Like, whoops, whoops.
He was just leaning into it, but
Oh my god.
All they got to do is play it back in black and white, and it's crime scene footage.
I don't know if like his PR person is the same guy who ended up representing Chris Brown or what, but somebody
they're
is
dead now.
they're not advising correctly,
Wow.
or they just have a mess on their hands all
Yeah,
the time.
well, I think that goes without saying. Yeah, it's kind of hard. I mean,
Insane.
he's down there robbing fans of his own memorabilia in Florida. So I think his PR person's having a little bit of difficulty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a safe
Yeah, no
bet.
doubt.
Let's do some weird news. Here we go.
Alrighty.
Help me, Jesus! Help me, Jewish God! Help me, Allah! Ah!
Weird news on the Kickstart with Matt.
Help me, Tom Cruise! Tom Cruise used a witchcraft on me to get the fire off me! Oh, help me, Oprah Winfrey! Ah!
A tarantula enjoys a fine chewing gum. A human torch is denied a bank loan. The arsonist has partnership.
And now with this week's weird news, here's Matt.
So here we go, everybody. Get ready. Let's get the video up for those watching at home.
Oh boy.
Prepare yourselves, folks. We're going to dive into it as usual. I was going to say, as usual, since the pandemic, we're aware that weird news has diminished terribly. Everything is about fucking animals and lottery winners.
Fucking animals?
Fucking animals.
Sometimes
Sometimes
fucking
fucking animals, but very seldom. It's normally about these
Usually
goddamn
Guinness records.
animals. Guinness records are
Shit
also
falling out
popular.
of trucks.
Yeah.
Right. We're trying.
Car accidents
We're-
on the road.
We're always trying to bring ourselves back to some semblance of insanity, and nothing does that better than former Soviet Russia. So Russia's
Oh my.
yeah.
Already this guy.
here we go. Russia's Science and Higher Education Ministry has dismissed the head of its prestigious Genetics Institute
How you going to fire Saruman?
because, obviously, because he sparked controversy by contending that humans used to live for centuries.
Oh.
Right?
How about
wow.
that?
Yeah, yeah.
Did they ride on dinosaurs?
And better yet, he said that the shorter lives are because of their ancestors' sins.
Okay, well now we're getting into the real science.
That's where I was
Okay?
going. That's where I was going with the dinosaurs.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So, although
They're lying to you, is all it's been.
the best part is the report did not give a reason for firing him, but the Russian
They have to.
Orthodox Church has called it religious discrimination.
Oh, surely.
Of course they have.
Surely, religion belongs in the same conversation as science.
What was real? I think the most fascinating component of the story for me was the idea that within modern day Russia, being the tense situation that place is, the
That's a word.
interesting dynamics that are, sort of going on there politically, that the Russian Orthodox Church still apparently is much like the Vatican, where it can be like, you know what? You guys are a bunch of dicks, and not get like swept off in the middle of the night.
It's the one thing Putin can't touch.
Exactly right.
Russian
Sorry,
Jesus.
You can't take Russian Jesus to the gulag. Sorry. This guy, I'm going to try this, but this is going to be real tough. I haven't watched Goldeneye in a while. Could Dryovtsev. All right. He might still be wet. We don't know.
Dry off
He
soon.
could dry off.
but he headed the Russian Academy of Sciences and the Institute of General Genetics. He made a presentation at a conference in 2023 in which he said people had lived for some 900 years prior to the era of the biblical flood.
If you're gonna make wild ass claims, at least have them be a little bit closer to reality.
Especially if you're the head of the
900?
fucking genetics department.
But even like, I'd love for it to be right, but
Yeah.
I would also love for you to show me why you think that.
Exactly. Some sort of
Hey,
evidence.
you've never
behind
read
it.
Gilgamesh?
Yeah, come on
Yeah.
now. It's right there. It's right there. The
Why
flood.
do I need to
The
demonstrate
flood
it?
myth is very old. So he said that the original ancestors and wait a minute. He said that original ancestral and personal sins, all of them,
Mhm.
have caused genetic diseases that shorten the lifespans.
Thanks, Grandpa, you dick.
You
Yeah,
had to
fuck.
fucking have the second Snickers that you didn't want to pay for.
Mm.
Now I can't get Social Security because my disability doesn't qualify.
I can't
Great.
get hard.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, I can't fuck everybody, and it's because you decided that you just had to go for that second, that moon pie. You thought that here in Soviet Russia we don't have moon pies. The pie moon's us, and we just haven't had enough ever since then. But said he also claimed that children up to the 7th generation are responsible for the sins of their fathers. This is why he got into genetics. How far
Yeah.
does sin
This
go?
is
Yeah.
why he got into
Yeah.
genetics.
Yeah, he wants to know how far did the sin go? How deep does it go?
Huh.
Because if you take one look at this man, you can see he is free of sin
Well,
completely.
yeah, absolutely. He doesn't look like he's some kind of a villain from a fantasy world.
Not at all. There's no way at all that he is completely without pants right now, and he's just waiting.
He's got the most irritated look on his face.
He does.
He does.
This is
But that's because he's been.
it's his
you know,
ID photo.
dethroned.
This is his
It's
ID
his
photo.
But I will say he's got one of the most interesting Sith lightsaber designs
He
in the Star Wars
does.
universe.
It's a
He
little
does.
crooked at the end. That could be because of a little calcium deposit in his veins.
I
We
like
don't
that
know what's going on.
Palpatine gave him like a 30 years of service pin.
Don't worry, you're my favorite.
You've kept the hairstyle. Frame this diploma and put it on your wall. Look at it every time you feel insignificant. Daddy loves you.
Well, the head of the Russian Church's Commission on Family Issues said that his dismissal for religious beliefs and statements in accordance with these beliefs violates the ethics of the scientific community. So that just gives you a little insight into what's going on in Russia's scientific community.
I'm glad Russia has like the at least they have the grounds to dismiss crazy people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say something that nobody says anymore, and for good reason.
Bring
But good on you, Russia.
That's right.
Like, uh-oh.
There you go.
I guess I'm canceled.
Home run, Russia. You've done it again.
Oh, Russia.
Well, we've already gone through Soviet times when genetics was long considered a pseudoscience. Said the Soviet Union under Joseph Stalin suppressed conventional genetics in favor of the theories who contended that the acquired characteristics could be inherited by offspring. So if you're strong, your son's going to be strong. This is a great story, and it's going to mean nothing to almost everyone that's listening.
I love it. That's you basically just
I'm
prefaced this
telling
as being
you.
completely pointless.
Completely pointless.
Everybody
I'm telling
skip
it-
ahead 10 minutes.
That's right. I'm telling you because you
Okay.
were there too. So, one of our science teachers was, well, most of our science teachers were completely unqualified, but this particular science teacher was also a gym teacher, and I'm almost positive we've talked about him before on
Yeah.
the show, Mr. O'Leary.
Oh, sure, yeah.
He explained to us, he taught earth science, but for some reason he decided
He
to
didn't
talk
teach
about
anything.
genetics. No.
All he did
He
was,
was-
teach the girls who are too short
to write at the top
as
of the board.
high as they could on the board, so they have to stand up so
Yeah.
he could lean over and lecherously look at them.
Exactly. And he
literally got
he had a
fired.
very long tenure too.
Yes, he had a long history of doing this.
That's true.
But he used to like slap the boys on their
Mhm.
on their butts when they were like
He's
coming back from football
so
and stuff like that.
I had him for earth science, and he threw a football in class every day.
Yeah,
Huh.
he wanted to
So-
be your buddy,
Yes.
and your pal, but
And
not
I-
us. Not us though, because we weren't like athletic.
No,
So he
I
didn't
got
really
a
care.
95 on a science fair project I never handed in. Also, because
Yeah,
I
he
was
was-
quiet.
This guy like didn't give a fuck about anything. He completely fudged his whole job.
Yeah,
Like for
He's
like
just like, I want to teach football and look at underage girls.
yeah.
that's and he he was in heaven.
That were his aspirations. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. But so he was talking about genetics for whatever reason,
Mhm.
and he used Mr. Mullen, was that what his name was? That
Mhm.
guy that was like he was a circle of a man.
Yeah, that's him.
Yes.
He was. Yeah.
and
Mr. Mole Man. He
But-
looked like he was digging holes and he would pop up like a groundhog.
yeah. But he was like he could pick up a vending machine and throw it across the room.
Oh,
like
shit.
he wasn't just like overweight. He was like
No, he
He's
was
like
just,
the kingpin.
He
yeah,
looked-
yeah,
yes.
exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
He
was
looked like
nothing
Kingpin
but muscle.
or
He-
Juggernaut maybe or something like that.
yeah. And so he was like, his kids, like if he ever has kids, they won't be strong and muscular unless they work out. And
What?
he was telling
said
us
this?
like, he was telling us this like it was some revelation. Like his children are not going to be born jacked, you know.
I mean, but they kind of will be because that's a genetic predisposition.
Have
His
you
kids will be born like him.
No, they're not going to be. What are you
Not-
talking about?
Not his end result, but they'll
Are
have
you from Russia?
they'll have the build and potential.
Are you a spy?
If Dad did not sin a whole lot,
That's what we need to
then
know.
there
they'll be
we
See,
go.
born
Mr.
strong.
Mullen was better in class.
Funny that we went to the Catholic school and they didn't give us this same dumb bullshit spiel that this Russian guy did. It's fucking crazy. And he talk about unqualified. I guess Mr.
Yeah.
O'Leary was like maybe O'Leary did become after he was fired
He
from
could
our
have very
school.
well been. This might be him. We don't know what Russia's capable.
We don't know.
of.
We haven't seen him for
It's
some
it
almost
really,
30 years.
It's been a long time.
Mr. O'Learovich.
Yep.
Oh,
That's
Rich.
exactly
He
right.
went to the
That's
motherland.
exactly right. Yeah, he figured I could make it happen over there.
He really was fired for touching the boys' butts.
That's,
in
that's
Russia.
exactly right. Yeah, they
That's
weren't
all
even.
it
They were
was.
like, "Listen, we get it. The girls are wearing skirts, but you gotta leave the guys alone." Yep. And we gotta send you to Russia. Nobody else is going
we
to
know
take you.
enough science that we'll kill you and resurrect you as a Frankenstein's monster to do our bidding. So please, Okay,
We got a
We're
lot of
confident
prayers.
in that much
We
science.
got a lot of prayers in the book, and one of them definitely will bring you back.
Your predecessors have laid the groundwork for us to do this, and we will do it to you. Anyone who doesn't cooperate.
Yeah, sorry, you don't have a say in this whole thing. That's all. Yeah, you can't change it one bit. I'll tell you who else couldn't change it one bit.
Oh
Fuck,
man,
that looks good.
A person who called an ambulance after eating too much kebab.
what language?
You mean an ambo-lamb?
Yeah, what language is written on the ambulance?
Get ready.
The 4-year-old.
How about it called by ambulance?
Hurry up, quick, because he's
only-
fading quick.
He's stroking.
Ambulance.
Ambulance.
It's only a matter of time until we live in this idiocracy world.
I gotta eat my pita and wait for an ambulance.
No, not the peanut butter and jelly
No, no,
sandwich.
no,
You
no,
have
no,
a
no, no.
peanut allergy.
It's so good.
And a jelly allergy.
And a jelly allergy.
What a terrible idea. So we're heading to Wales, everybody. So in Wales, rather than 911, it's 999. I don't know if you're familiar with.
Oh, no,
with
not
the,
Germany?
The British. No. Yeah. So there were 999 calls placed in Wales because someone found that they had eaten too much kebab at a particular food truck.
Not possible.
Apparently, but this has happened.
I like that Zach just said that with the same authority as the
That's
Russian geneticists. Nope, can't happen. Can't happen.
You can't eat too much
Don't
kebab.
question. Don't question it.
Fake news. Send the ambulance back.
Russian Jesus clearly stated it. I don't know
Well,
what
now
you're
that
talking
you
about.
mentioned it's Wales, by the way, now I understand why it says ambulance. Ambulance.
That's right. Yes.
Because I met one person from Wales and he spoke just like that.
Exactly right. That's what they
Oh,
do.
it's
Yeah.
Welsh.
Yeah,
Okay.
yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. So he was the first, or he was the fifth person to call in after eating too much at this particular kebab stand.
It sounds like a great endorsement for this place.
I mean, yeah, they're giving you hearty portions. That's what you want to hear.
Although that you just can't stop yourself. Like you need medical intervention. I can't stop eating.
So the best part is, like, obviously they have commandeered the language in some way, shape, or form, and it is causing them some problems. And apparently, this is all a relatively misused system over in
Okay.
Wales. So further 999 calls were made because someone had misplaced their false teeth. Another person also had their hand stuck in a letterbox.
Is this place like so quaint, like it's
like
Mayberry or
Canada.
some shit? Yeah, what the fuck is going on here?
So,
I lost my teeth.
so a lost
I can't
voice.
eat the palau.
Somebody lost their voice. Somebody got a ring stuck on their finger. All of these things
You
had
can't.
Welsh.
You call the police because you lost your voice, like you misplaced it, or like a thief came and
Somebody
took it.
stole my voice in the night. The service had 414,149 calls last year,
What?
and 68,416 of them were not life or death emergencies.
It's boring living in Wales.
That's an average of 188 calls per day.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Oh.
so a lost voice and a ring stuck on a finger were not the only strangest one. Here's some transcripts from some ambulance services that have been made that have been called in over the years,
Oh no.
or over this past year, just the past year.
Oh god.
Operator, tell me exactly what happened. The caller, yesterday evening, we had some kebab at a stand, and I don't know, I might have had a little bit more than I'm used to, but this morning I've had a very painful stomach.
Do they just like either they have everyone feels like a friend there, or
Yeah.
they don't have enough friends there? Because this is something that you
It's
just
a balance.
you complain to your like neighbors or your
Yeah.
buddy
You're like,
about.
shit, it's something you complain to your cat about. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I fucking ate too much last night for dinner. I'm
Oh,
still
boy,
full.
Sprinkles, I'm real fucking full.
I better call emergency and let them know.
Just in case I explode, just so they can come and get me before you lick all the
Are
rest
they all
up.
like hypochondriacs out there?
I don't know what's going on. Here's another one. Operator, is the patient awake? Caller. Yeah, it's me. My hand's stuck in the door. Operator, is the door locked at the moment? Yeah, it's locked, ma'am. No, my hand's stuck in the fucking letterbox. The operator said, how old are you? The caller said, open the door, my hand is stuck. That was the termination of the call. So
Wow.
one more for you.
Jesus.
Caller, I have a bottom part of my denture. I went to clean my teeth, and I said, "Where's my false teeth?" I know this sounds crazy, but I don't know what else to do. Is it possible that I swallowed my false teeth? The operator said, "So you don't know where your false teeth are?" And the person said, "I'm just worried that I swallowed them."
I want to be a 999 operator
Oh
in
my
Wales
God.
now, more than I've ever wanted to
this,
do that.
This tells me that this person, not only did they not take the time to look to see where their teeth were, right? They're just operating purely out of fear and making phone calls based upon that
I
information.
don't know. I just think I did it. I think I swallowed
I'm
them.
just
I don't
convinced
know
they
if they're
swallowed
here,
it.
but I'm just worried that it happened. So Andy Swinburne, executive director of the Paramedicare, or medicine rather, said that inappropriate calls put additional strain on the already overstretched service, apparently. But our public plea is to please apply your common sense.
Well, there's one very simple way to divert a lot of those calls,
Mhm.
and it's make a penalty for it.
Exactly
Apparently there
right, yeah.
isn't one. Like, I'm assuming that there's just people can just call up and
Whatever they call that they're worried about, go and do it to them. Go take this
Go
guy's
do it to
teeth.
him.
Go
Go
get this guy
swallow
stuck
his
in a door.
dentures.
Yeah.
They should turn this into a podcast.
Yeah, they really should.
Yeah.
It's an incredible thing. So executive directors of operations Lee Brooks said the service needed to the public to take some ownership and accountability for their health and well-being, but they're stretched beyond measure. We know it's confusing to access national health services, but you don't know what's open and which healthcare professionals are best placed to help. So what you need to do is call your general practitioner first. Long term, our ambition rather is to play.
I thought you were tripping over the word again.
Yeah. Long term, our ambition is to play a strengthened role in the broader national health services system to help patients navigate the right pathway to the most appropriate service, and that includes non-urgent health queries too.
Mm-hmm.
You're fine. Go back to bed. Go. Just wait a day and then go enjoy more kebab.
Just wait. If you did swallow
get a
them, you'll
doggy bag.
shit them out
That's
like in a
exactly
day or
right.
so, and you'll have your teeth.
All you got to do is give them a rinse and you'll be fine.
Oh, it's so gross.
Just some Barbasol. Barbasol takes care of everything. That's what we
It
learned
came
in
in-
Soviet Russia.
It's in your own body. It's not that gross.
It was a part of you. Are you that worried about yourself? Maybe you're going to die at a young age because you're full of sins from your great-grandfather. Maybe you're full of sins, or maybe you're full of fish, like
What
a
the
teenage boy in Provo, Utah, who is facing charges for allegedly taping fish to various ATMs in the city.
I love the conviction that this has happened multiple times, and the crudity or crudeness of it.
It's literally just a single stripe of duct tape and a fish.
It's barely hanging on. Most of it has peeled off the screen. That fish is about to fall to the ground.
Welcome to Wells Fargo. Fish just take. I love this.
I mean, it is kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
It's so stupid and overt.
God damn it, Banksy. Banksy did it again.
It's all about staying current. So authorities say that the authorities say that the Provo Police Department allegedly has the unnamed 17-year-old in custody, who was responsible for about a dozen fish taping incidents.
How is this against the law? I don't think this is even like illegal. I can't
In Salt
say.
Lake City, it is. This is not in line with Mormonism. That's all you got to know.
You can have multiple wives, but you can't do this.
That's exactly right.
Joseph Smith woke up one morning and was like, "You shouldn't tape fish to banks."
He's like, you know
I
what?
heard-
I hate
I almost
the
forgot.
fillet of fish from McDonald's. It's always there around the times that all the Catholics are trying to abstain from meat. I don't like the out.
Well, it's just so funny because it's basically just like leaving trash on something. You can just untape the fish. He's not permanently defacing anything.
We don't know if
It's
they're
not
even alive.
It's not even vandalism.
No.
I mean, no, you might not be able to toss it back in the ocean,
No.
but
But I mean, if it's a live fish flopping on the screen,
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it is not.
if it's alive, it wasn't alive very
if
long.
it starts out alive, it doesn't stay
It
that
don't
way.
look happy.
Yeah, once the duct tape gets
But
involved.
look how easy it is to you can pull the strip right off and then just go about your goddamn business.
If someone leaves their receipt, you don't just like get pissed and call the cops. You just throw it away or you throw it on the ground.
It's not that
Exactly.
big of a
Same
deal.
difference.
Yeah.
Both intentional ATM activity. but one of them is more of a consequence of using the ATM versus one that's more.
One is garbage, one is turning into garbage. So
And at least that's biodegradable.
that's exactly
That's
right.
That's true.
Just
Yeah,
toss it
I
in.
don't see I don't see any kind of illegal activity
kinda
here.
dumb.
Not actually. I
It's
find
not
it,
doing any
this-
permanent damage.
this would have a harder time sticking in court than this fish did to this fucking screen. That single strip of duct tape is stronger than the case they have.
It's all about
yeah.
the elders. It's all about the elders. But one photo showed an escalation of the prank where three
no.
fish were taped to a police car.
Okay, all right.
But now it's three to a huge.
That's-
It's perfectly proportional. This is a mastermind. Okay, I think what they're trying to do is just to get him before he actually does something significantly
Yeah, because
wrong.
he's
bad.
17. He's about to be illegal.
He's right on the
legal
cusp of something big.
legal adult, ready to step into his power. We have to shut him down.
Holy shit!
He's gonna tape a manatee to the Capitol building.
Authorities told KSTU that the suspected fish tapings were done in innocent fun, but they charged the teen with 2 misdemeanor counts of causing property damage back in December.
I
What is the
highly
damage?
doubt
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
prove the property damage.
yeah.
Like seriously, go have a GoFundMe or like a Kickstarter or whatever for this kid's like legal representation.
Right.
I'll donate to it.
The best part is the end of the sentence.
Oh, no.
Mainly because cleaning up the fish carcasses off of the cars and ATMs started to cost very little money.
Oh no, you got to pay someone to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, because your ass can't go out there and pull a taped
Oh,
fish
yeah,
off a
no,
screen
no,
It's
and
not
throw it
that
in the
hard.
trash.
I shot it 8 times. It's still there. I don't know what else to do. We have to call in the SWAT.
Need a whole new ATM
Yeah.
machine because it's all full of bullets now.
Sorry.
Whoops.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly right.
Love
Yeah,
that.
Juan says, "What's the damage? Are they stinking up the screens? What's
Yeah.
going on here?"
I mean, it probably did stink.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. It definitely had an aroma. Well, after the teen was referred to juvenile court, the case was officially closed. Officials told the station that they did not know where the teen got the fish, but the fish taping photos were uploaded to an Instagram account titled Fish_Bandit84.
Fish Bandit. Fish Bandit 84.
I fucking
Simple-
love it.
And
I
the
got
best
one
part
simple
was-
thing in life.
The tagline of his Instagram profile was "Live, laugh, take fish on ATMs," and he promises that no fish were harmed
It's
in
so
the
dumb.
process.
They're dead.
Yeah.
They're already dead.
Yeah, they've been
probably-
dead.
He
Yeah.
probably bought them dead and just slapped them on there.
Exactly right. Yeah, it's fantastic.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfectly innocent fun.
Exactly. But I'll tell you what wasn't innocent fun, and unfortunately, we're not dealing with a fish in this instance. A
Oh,
Kansas
God, did he
couple.
kill his whole family?
We were just talking about family annihilators on my show.
Oh God! Oh God! He looks like the type who'll do
He
it.
looks
Well-
like a family annihilator. That looks like a family annihilator's house.
He
Yes,
basically
it's all the above.
he's a family annihilator that never got the gumption to pull it off. So a Kansas couple has been
like
charged with
90% of Americans.
I've been thinking about it.
AKA the American workforce.
There's like a casual,
yeah.
joking like nature of like, I hate my family.
Yeah. Yes. A Kansas couple was charged with fraudulently collecting more than $215,000 in retirement benefits on behalf of a dead relative while they concealed his body in the home
This is
for
not
6 years.
this
Holy
is
shit.
a very familiar sounding story to me.
I'm sure it is.
Working at SSA,
This
like,
is what I was talking about
yeah.
earlier.
So there have been several cases just like this, where
Really?
people they have a dead relative and they just keep collecting benefits and just keep filling it out like they're alive because
Mhm.
you don't ever really have to keep verifying your you
Yeah.
now
Your pulse.
because
grandma
with-
lived with you and you're the payee.
Yeah.
exactly with the
I'm learning
disability.
lingo.
There
Yeah,
you
that's
go.
right.
That's
'cause
it.
yeah,
That's it.
Zach works there now too. So yeah, but with retirement benefits, there's no reevaluation of like your disability anymore. They don't need you to
Sure.
come in and do medical stuff.
Mhm.
So you just roll along until you're dead.
Right.
And it's an honor system where
Right,
you
right,
die
right.
and it gets reported.
You dead
But
yet?
these people didn't fucking.
Sure.
Normally, when somebody dies, you go ahead and say that they're dead, and you don't leave their dead. Like, I can't wait to hear more about this. If they were like holding the body or what
Yup.
they were doing. Oh my god!
So
okay.
authorities
this
say
is horrific.
Authorities say Mike Carroll's pacemaker showed that he died in 2016 at
Holy
the age
God.
of 81.
Damn.
But Overland Park police didn't discover his body until 2022 after his son-in-law, Kirk Ritter, pictured here, called the police to report his death to the Kansas City suburb. Prosecutors say that Lynn Ritter and Kirk Ritter, both 61, continued depositing and spending Carroll's bank account even while his body became, quote, mummified on the bed in the home that
They
he owned.
are so gross.
Couldn't you have at
These-
least like put him in a freezer?
These
Nope.
people like just bury him
Mm-mm.
or
that.
something, or like dissolve him up, and then just say all you have to do is just say one day he walked off, we lost him. Silver alert.
Yeah, right.
And guess what? He's never
Oh,
found
that's
again.
good.
There you
He's
go.
never found again. But I know, yeah, they'll poke more questions in there. That's
Mhm.
why you got to make sure the body's like gone, like
Yeah.
somewhere that can't be tied to you. But otherwise, like, there's not a whole lot of like looking into it. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. So family.
Or he like is immolated, and then they can't. What are they gonna age the bones?
You never know. We could do a lot of things with 3D printers these days.
Oh, you got to burn
Family
up the
member-
pacemaker. That's what you got to
That's
do.
right, that's all-
Just
all you gotta
remember,
restart it. Just restart it.
reset
Yep.
it, roll it back like
It's
the odometer.
Yes,
odometer
yes.
on Matilda. Yeah.
Like Ferris Bueller.
Danny DeVito. He's
This is,
not
this
doing
is all
anything.
just the Ferris Bueller thing. Fucking Cameron's in there. He's like, it's not rolling back.
Nope.
I guess I gotta face the
Got to face
wall.
the facts. Face the facts. It's time. Well, family members told the Kansas City Star that the Ritters would repeatedly give them excuses why Carroll could never take the phone, or that he couldn't be visited, while they were leading him to believe that he was still alive. The
Huh.
couple is due to appear in federal court and faces several charges next month, February 2nd, rather. They didn't respond to the phone or email messages from the newspaper. Surprise, surprise. But the documents do not list a defense attorney representing them. So either they're getting public defender or they're in for some trouble.
Yeah.
So
Let's hope they get fucking completely raked over the coals on this one, because
yeah,
that is some sick, weird
Their-
shit to
Their
do.
lawyer's been dead for 6 years too.
Yeah, exactly right. I'm sorry, Your Honor, he can't appear today. Could we do this next
Can
week?
we just next
maybe?
week? No, he can't come to the phone right
No,
now.
no. What'd you say? What'd you say? The green beans are burning? I gotta go. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Yeah. We'll see you next week. It's the potatoes this time. Oh my God. It's always the sides, Your Honor. I'm sorry. We'll see you next week.
No mashing.
That's right. No, don't mash them up. Yeah.
No mashing in the courtroom.
That's it, yeah. Prosecutors said that the pension and Social Security payments that they received over the 6 years totaled in $216,067. But bank
What's
records.
fucked up is like that's not even like a whole lot of money over like 6 years if you think about it. It's not really.
Well, but bank records from that time showed checks being written from his bank account and then cashed by Lynn and Kirk Ritter.
Surprise, surprise.
Bring it
Well,
on
but
through.
they're stealing from you and I. Like that's basically, the American taxpayers.
Yeah.
Kind of supplementing that.
Yeah.
Even though it represents money that they've deposited each person.
So I think the way that this unfolded was
Mhm.
that the guy died. And they're like, "Oh my God, he's dead. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do?" And guy's like, "I don't know. I need some air." And he's like, "Well, I might as well get the mail while I'm out here." And he's like, "Wait a minute. What's this fucking check?"
He's like, "What? These checks are gonna stop?" And he's like, "Oh shit!
Wait a minute.
We need these checks.
Nobody uses the back bedroom. Nobody uses
Close
it.
them up."
What if it becomes
It had to
for
stink
the Pharaoh?
so
bad.
fucking
Oh
bad
my
in their
God.
house
Oh my
to the
God.
point where eventually it just stopped stinking because it was no longer
They
like
were
a
nose
mummified.
blind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
like how insane. Also, this guy looks like he got a black eye.
But the
He does.
face is my favorite part. It's kind of like the it's almost a Jim face. It's like
like look
well,
at the camera.
Yes, they got me.
Yeah. These people took like 5 years off of our lives because of their sins.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah,
They
now
did.
we're gonna die early.
I guarantee you, they added 5 more working years into your life
And-
because
and
you,
good
you
luck-
can't retire
and
now.
good luck cashing your paychecks with all those fish everywhere on those ATM machines.
I can't get to the screen.
My pen won't work. There's a fish in the way.
I don't know what to do. Somebody call the cops.
I'm allergic to lake trout.
I can't touch it.
Well, I'll tell you who did end up touching it.
Oh, God, I don't
Oh
know.
man, I don't like where this is
happen
going.
here? What is this?
Get ready. A suburban Philadelphia man is accused of stabbing to death a neighbor with whom he had a long feud because the neighbor had a problem with snoring very loudly and he could hear it through the wall of their connecting homes.
Oh, that guy fucking murdered me.
That guy, I mean, just
The
He,
guy, I'm
looks, he
assuming
still
that-
looks angry.
you know,
He-
judging by the victim and perpetrator, snoring was the only obstacle here. It was the only point of contention.
Sure.
Uh,
Just snoring.
I didn't even need to hear the story to know that this guy had some issues.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Well, Christopher James Casey, 55, was charged Thursday with causing the death 4 days earlier of Robert Wallace, who the coroner found to have been stabbed several times. Wallace, 62, was removed a screen from a window in Casey's home, opened the unlocked window as he was eating dinner on Sunday, and after a verbal confrontation, he stabbed him in the chest with a large military-style knife in Upper Moreland Township.
Wait, so he climbed through the window and then had
And
an
then
argument.
argued with him like, well, no, what are you doing in your house?
I'm sick of you snoring.
Yeah. Why are you here?
Like I thought you were gonna say he climbed through the window while he was sleeping and snoring and stabbed him. But he was like eating dinner.
In the middle of dinner. Well, he told him that Wallace had not been menacing him or threatening him when he stabbed him in the doorway, but he had been having, quote, personal issues the past year and a half, prompting several police calls over Wallace's complaints about his snoring. He told investigators during an interview on Sunday that after 20 minutes of speaking through the window, Wallace appeared to calm down, wanted to shake hands, and offered to pay for nasal surgery to alleviate Casey's snoring.
Wow.
Okay. Casey then unlocked his front door holding a knife and stun gun under a blanket.
Huh.
Yeah. Casey described Wallace as being very volatile, very strong. He's an angry type of person, police wrote in the charging documents. Casey said he did not believe Wallace's intentions were to try and work this out and shake hands and try to fix the situation. He said that he was trying to go in there and surprise him by stabbing him with a knife.
Surprise, surprise.
Yep. Surprise time. So the police responded to the 911 call and found him about 50 feet from his home. He later died in the hospital. He required hospital care for what police call self-inflicted and accidental stabbing wounds to his leg. This was the original report. Window screen was outside on the lawn, the open window when police arrived, and there was blood inside and outside the home. Yeah. He just stabbed himself.
Uh-huh.
That's all that happened. And then he probably knocked out this window because he just didn't like it. He was just so upset
That's
about stabbing
absolutely.
himself that he left this very apparent open pathway into his home. So Casey told emergency dispatchers that he broke his window, that police said that I attacked my neighbor. He came to attack me. And eventually he was charged with third-degree murder, voluntary manslaughter, and possessing instruments of a crime. That was a new one for me.
Possessing instruments of a
I
crime.
love that one.
That's a
It's
good
like an album title to me. So the
That's a Megadeth album.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He remained jailed on Friday. That bail set at $1 million, and no lawyer was willing to accept him for his court records.
Of course.
So,
I hope he gets shanked to
probably-
death
that's
in
it's
jail.
gonna happen. It's
That's if
gonna
there's any
happen.
kind of justice. This fucking guy looks like an asshole
Yup,
already. Just
yup.
He looks like he is angrily thinking about the deep state in that picture.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
definitely remembering exactly what Alex Jones
he's,
told him. in
he's
the
sitting
middle
there
of the
thinking
night. Yeah.
about how he could have been in January 6th.
That's right.
Like he's like, oh, if I would have just taken the
If
train.
only I
It would have
thought-
gone so
that's
much
right.
better if I was there.
I would've-
Damn
would've got
Southwest
things
wasn't
done.
canceling all their flights because the pilots
I
weren't
just couldn't
showing
get any
up.
sleep because this guy's snoring all night.
I was too
Tired
tired.
all the time.
I was too tired. I didn't have the energy to cut Mike Pence's head off.
With the saw side of my Rambo knife.
Oh, we all have to navigate the scenario.
I guess you'll do.
Yeah.
I guess you'll do.
What do you think about this whole insurrection thing? You on board? No? All right. Well, good. It's nice. It's nice when it's close to home. Make me home in time for dinner. And we're going to get you home in time for dinner because that's
Way beyond time for dinner.
it's way beyond. It's time to pull out that knife and fork and start scraping them together.
Oh, make sure you keep your windows locked.
Locked.
Lock them up tight.
Double lock. Don't
Jeez.
take that screen out. My favorite thing to do is to get the big screens, the ones that go through the whole window, not just the half screen that just slide up and down, because there's no mistaking when it's missing. It's
That's
not
right.
like, oh, we got it on the upper sash, the lower sash. No, it's laying on the lawn and there's somebody in the house,
Yeah.
Yep.
you know, and they're really upset about what happens while I'm asleep. And
And about Pizzagate.
And Pizzagate has been very frustrating for them because they can't get through their head that even when there's a thick layer of concrete, there's no possible way that there's another room down there or any kind of torture chambers or anything like that. It's just full of old sealed cans of pasta sauce. And isn't that what we all want for our lives? Sealed cans.
That's
of
what I
pasta
want.
Sauce. I mean, if you let it age, you get that nice little tang to it. You can turn your life around with a good can of pasta sauce.
And the more you sin, the more tang there is in your pasta sauce.
And we're all about the tang. We're all
That's
about
right.
the tang.
The most sinful family of Italians making for generations making this delicious tangy pasta
I
sauce.
can taste the sin. I can taste the sin.
Fucking ragu people.
That's exactly right.
Is that a family name or is that a word? What does that mean?
It's either way, it's committed atrocity.
Italian
It's Italian something, right?
Is there a Mr. Ragu?
Yeah, where's Mr. and Mrs. How are the little ragus today? That sounds racist. I don't want to say that anymore.
How those little Ragu rats doing? Yeah, I'm trying to clean up for you.
Cross-
Exactly.
all around.
Make it PG again.
That's all right. It's our word. We can say it. And we'll see you next time on another episode of the Kickstart.
Shut it
my
down.
God.
Shut it down. And we'll see you in court. Oh.
All right, internet
I turned
people.
into Vince McMahon before the flight logs came out, where he was sympathetic for a minute. He's got that the sad music playing.
He's got the poop stick back on him now, so they're like,
Oh man.
Yeah, the flight logs came out. He's just doing that again. What was that? Did you hear about that? The flight logs came out, and Vince McMahon was on the Epstein flight logs.
Oh, I believe it.
He's getting like canceled now
But
because.
so was Trump, though. So it's
Oh yeah, so it was like a whole bunch of them.
yeah.
The thing about those flight logs, and I'm not trying to, is in no way, shape, or form is this like a defense, but it's just the reality is that that private planes will get rented out to other people all the time.
Yeah.
So those flight logs don't necessarily mean they were going, but there's a 50% chance they were.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it just
yeah,
knows
With
yeah.
that.
Vince McMahon, there's
sort
like
of
a
a coin
75 to
toss.
90% chance.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a coin toss.
Yeah, that man's a psycho.
He's a
Yep.
piece of shit.
Yep, there you go. All right, well, internet people, we love
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, you're not a piece of shit.
We got Juan, we got Allison. I don't know who our third
We
is.
had
It
Greg
was
up
it
here
was
with us
Greg. I don't
earlier.
know if it's still Greg or not, but whoever it is, thanks for tuning in.
Thank you so much.
We love you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
It's
Wait
really,
a minute.
it's really not all that bad. The joke at the end. We just
It
played it,
just
all.
sounds
off.
bad.
We just
Like if you call someone a ragu, that sounds super racist.
Now you're wielding it like a weapon.
Yeah, exactly.
Brandishing it.
We
You're like,
forgot.
you fucking ragu.
You ragu.
We forgot. Zach, tell us your things. Tell us about where we can find
Oh,
you.
we're back live again, and I just called somebody a fucking ragu. That's great. It's a pasta sauce.
That's right.
It's fine.
It's just oregano and tomatoes. That's all it is.
I do a little show called The Comics That We Love. It's pretty fun every week. It's me and a guest talking about whatever comic book that they love and why they loved it. And we break down what makes it awesome. Matt and I just recorded one called Wolf Moon.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Oh yeah.
I just did a whole month called the comic book New Year's comic spree, where I spent every episode reading books that I didn't get to read in 2023 because I was too busy reading specific books. And I read 116 issues of comics and 21 series in a month.
Oh my god! In a month?
In a month.
Holy shit!
And I did like 4 to 5 an episode and talked about them and what I thought of them. It was
Hell
fun.
Damn, dude.
But yeah, it's a fun show.
That's awesome.
Good.
Yeah, man.
Do it. Listen.
Available everywhere. Instagram is where I usually
Check
go.
it out. It's consistent, and there's all kinds of. If you're looking for anything new or any comic book related stuff, it's a
That's
great
it.
resource.
You got it.
There's such a variety you guys have on there too. Which is
I try
great.
to. I try to.
We've done it. We've made it. We're done.
Yeah, that's it.
Goodbye.
Now, see ya.
Okay, now we're really done, internet people. And we love you. Goodbye.
See ya. Goodbye.